Sup? I'm having a rough go of it. Not the worst, but rough. My scale ran out of batteries, and I have routines, and I have a hard time coping with changes in my routine, and my scale was one of them. Oh, turn on the volume. Oh my god. But yeah, I drank a not a copious, just too much. I drank too much red wine today. I drink wine for my brain parts, and for anxiety, and for my armpit. My armpit is not as bad when I don't have as much anxiety, and so the wine helps. But I drank too much today. It's caused me to plummet into this alcohol-fueled anxiety attack that I didn't know was possible until now. It's not great. But I took a sleeping pill, so that should be kicking in anytime now. And I will be on cloud 9. Very far from here. So this season, June and July expressly, mark the occurrence of some pretty monumentous events in my life back in 2015. And so let me set the stage for you. At this time, I was on my final summer in school. I was majoring in environmental health science, as you all know. But in case you need a refresher, this summer I was taking organic chemistry 2. A fucking mistake. Absolutely mistake. But I didn't know at the time. I was taking organic chemistry 2, and I was working in the marine science department doing DNA extractions and qPCR. Sounds really cool. Sounds like I'm doing some like top-notch, like high-level shit, but it's not. It really isn't. If you are a first-year biology student, you know a little about DNA extractions, and it's not difficult. So this summer was the summer that my brother graduated college. He is 2 years younger than me, but graduated before me. So that shows you how I was progressing through college and where I was as far as the experience went. My brother graduated, and we stayed in this hotel. I think it was a Hampton or a Clarendon. It was not a bad hotel at all. And I got back to my apartment. I was going to school again, and I noticed I was starting to get bites on me. And these bites were not like any other thing I had ever experienced as far as bug bites go. They were raised welts that were hard to the touch, very tender, very red, very itchy. And I wasn't sure what was going on because these weren't like mosquito bites, they weren't like flea bites. I've been bitten by both, and this wasn't it. They weren't cockroach bites, and if I had cockroaches, I would know. I would see them. And so I'm thinking maybe it's some kind of flying thing or something that I'm not seeing, something very small. Maybe mites, maybe scabies. I've never seen what scabies look like, so I checked out all the things it could possibly be, and I narrowed it down to one thing. One thing it could be. You guessed it. Bedbugs. The common misconception of the bedbug experience is that only very dirty people have bedbugs. They only are attracted to just soiled environments. That's the thought, that only dirty and poor people have bedbugs. No, the problem with having bedbugs and being poor is that you can't afford to get rid of them. But it is not, they don't discriminate. It is not an experience onto any particular group of people. So these bites are steadily getting worse. And I am steadily getting more and more paranoid. I'm not really predispositioned to being paranoid unless there is a stimuli to make me paranoid, but when I become paranoid, I get very fucking paranoid because I am a very contemplative person. I am very in my head, and so I spend a lot of time in my head and worrying about being eaten by things, being preyed upon by things while I'm sleeping is terrifying. It caused me so much anxiety just to lay my head on my pillow at night. So I call this whole experience the attack of the fuckers. It is my way of chronicalizing my descent into madness as I am being progressively eaten alive by these parasites in my room. And I become a madman. Like, I literally lose my mind over this. Every morning I would wake up and take a Sharpie and mark where I had new bites. And the way that their bites are, they eat in patterns. Almost linear. So you'll have lines of bites down your body, and it's mostly on your trunk, the trunk of your body. But I had bites on my legs, I had bites on my arms, I had bites on my face. They really don't care. And they spread like wildfire. What people don't talk about is traumatic insemination. That is their way of mating. And it is exactly what it sounds like. Traumatic insemination. The male actually inserts its sperm into the female by breaking her back open. They literally fuck like rabbits if rabbits had swords for dicks. That is what bedbugs are. And they are prolific fuckers. They really are. And so the same weekend I decided that I probably have bedbugs. I went out and on my college budget, my meager ass college budget, I bought as many things as I possibly could to get rid of them. I got some borax, I got some bug bombs, I got some tea tree oil and mixed it up with some water and apple cider vinegar, and I would spray my body with it to make myself smell less human. I got some lavender Febreze. I heard that they didn't like lavender. I did all I possibly could. I got the borax and put like lines around the perimeter of my room and out my doorway so they wouldn't spread to my roommates. I was like this suburban shaman, like spreading my binding magic around my room to keep these fuckers at bay. And it only kind of worked because the bug bombs and all that other stuff, it kills the adult bugs, but not the eggs. And that was something that I didn't know when I started this crusade. And had I known, I would have gone and gotten a professional as soon as possible. But you live and you learn. So after about 2 or 3 weeks of spraying, doing the bug bombs, doing the little marks all over my body, I finally buckled and started to seek the help of a professional. And so I looked at Orkin and Terminex, and their warranty policy was trash. It was a 2-month, I think, warranty that they offered, and they wanted to spray the whole house, which I just did not have the money for. It would be thousands of dollars to spray the entire space. And so I got this mom and pop place to do some spraying, and it was $450 for as many sprays as it took to get rid of them, really. And they did a 6-month long warranty, and so that was way better than the 2-month, even though it's outside of the window for bed bugs. They can live for up to a year, even longer, without food, without feeding. And so, you know, that was as good as I was going to get. So the pest control people came by. They sprayed 3 weeks in a row, and I discovered I was still getting bitten on the 3rd week, and so they came back a 4th week. So yeah, it was an ordeal. It was an ordeal. And like, when they talk about bed bugs biting you at night, they don't only bite you at night. They'll eat you whenever they have the opportunity to. And they live in groups, but they don't eat in groups. They don't feed in groups. They feed whenever they're hungry. And they're always fucking hungry. And so they don't come out, you know, twice or 4 times or even 5 times a week. You're going to be bitten every single day. And because they fuck like rabbits with swords for dicks, they spread like crazy. And that's the issue with having bed bugs, is that people don't notice that they have the bites until it's too late, and they don't do anything about it until they have like full reign of your house. But for me, I noticed within the first few days, and I was working towards getting rid of them within the first weeks of having them, and I, just took steps to get rid of them completely within the first month. So yeah, my bed bug experience was awful, and I wouldn't wish it. No, I would wish it on my worst enemy. I would, because I'm petty like that. But it was terrible. It was objectively one of the worst experiences that I've ever had, along with taking organic chemistry. It was just a struggle. I thought I turned this off. I thought I turned it off, but I didn't. But guys, if you think you have bed bugs, go ahead and just get on it, because it makes a difference. And when you go to hotels, inspect the bedding. Make sure you don't have any weird blood spots anywhere. Don't put your clothes, your suitcase, any open bags near anything that they could get into. While they don't have like little claws like ticks do, they can't like hook onto things, they can get into your stuff and you can transport them that way. But yeah, be careful when you go to hotels. Be careful when you go to other people's houses. Be careful. That is the moral of the story. Be careful. Jesus.